The coming of the beast and the mysterious mark in the apocalypse. Hello everyone and welcome to Between Legends and Reality, your reference point for the darkest mysteries and hidden truths. Today we will tackle a topic that has fascinated, terrified, and divided for centuries: the arrival of the beast and the mysterious mark described in the apocalypse. We will focus in particular on verse 13 of chapter 13 of the apocalypse. Are we perhaps witnessing the fulfillment of this prophecy? Stay with me until the end to find out. The Apocalypse of John is one of the most enigmatic texts in the Bible, full of symbolism and occult meanings. Written during the period of persecution of Christians by the Roman Empire, this prophetic vision has been interpreted in various ways over the centuries. Some believe that John wanted to convey a coded message to persecuted Christians, using symbolism and allegory to describe the struggle between good and evil, between the kingdom of God and the oppressive powers of the world. Chapter 13 of Revelation describes two beasts. The first emerges from the sea and the second from the earth. The first beast is often associated with a political or imperial power, which exercises dominion over the world. Many scholars see it as the Roman Empire, but others interpret it as a broader entity that can include any oppressive government throughout history. This beast has 10 horns and 7 heads, symbols of power and completeness, and it receives its authority from the dragon, who in the Bible represents Satan himself. The second beast, however, is more subtle. It seems to act as a false prophet, inducing people to worship the first beast. It has 2 horns like a lamb, but speaks like a dragon. This is a powerful symbol that recalls the figure of deception. It appears benevolent, but in reality it is a bearer of lies and manipulation. This beast performs signs and wonders to convince the world to submit to the power of the first beast, starting an era of control and imposed idolatry. Verse 13 tells us, "And he did great wonders, so that he made fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men." This phrase has sparked debates among theologians and esotericists. Some see a reference to the biblical events of the Old Testament, such as the prophet Elijah calling down fire from heaven. The figure of Elijah is fundamental because in the Bible he represents the one who fights false divinities and demonstrates the power of the one true God. The call to fire from heaven can therefore be seen as a blasphemous imitation of a sacred event, an attempt by the beast to deceive humanity by passing itself off as divine. Others argue that it is an allusion to modern technologies such as laser weapons, nuclear explosions, or even artificially manipulated atmospheric phenomena. The concept of fire from heaven could be interpreted as a demonstration of power capable of instilling fear in the masses, forcing them to submit. If we think about modern warfare and its use of destructive weapons, it is easy to see a connection with what is described in the apocalypse. Furthermore, there is a connection with ancient esoteric practices. Many traditions speak of supernatural entities capable of dominating the elements to impress the masses and control them. The manipulation of fear through seemingly miraculous events is a strategy that has been repeated throughout human history. Is it possible that John was warning believers of a future in which the powerful would use illusions and deception to gain total dominion over the world? The theme of the mark of the beast has sparked many theories over the centuries. Verse 16-17 of the same chapter tells us, "He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no one can buy or sell except the one who has the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of his name." The enigma of the brand is among the most disturbing of the apocalypse. What emerges forcefully from this passage is the concept of obligation and social exclusion for those who refuse to submit. Over the centuries, many scholars have tried to decipher its meaning. Some believe it is a physical sign, such as a tattoo or a subcutaneous implant, while others suggest a more spiritual and symbolic meaning. The Bible warns us that the mark will be imposed on all, regardless of social class. This detail is crucial, because it highlights how the beast's control will not discriminate. Everyone, regardless of their position in society, will be forced to accept it. Today we can see a preview of this scenario in the unstoppable digitalization of the economy and the growing need for biometric identification to access essential services. In recent years, we have seen the emergence of systems that could form the basis of the brand, the reliance on electronic transactions, the experimentation of subcutaneous chips, digital health passes, and the progressive elimination of cash. The concept of, without the brand you can't buy or sell, is starting to take on disturbingly concrete contours. It is not difficult to imagine a future in which, in order to access essential goods, one must accept some form of centralized digital identification, which could be the modern equivalent of the brand. But there is another aspect that is even more subtle and dangerous: psychological submission. Accepting the mark may not only mean adhering to an economic system, but also ideologically bowing to a new world order. The beast is not satisfied with material control, he wants the domination of minds and souls. Connections to the present, global control. We must ask ourselves, could current events be signs that Revelation verse 13 is coming true? Some disturbing clues lead us to think so. We live in an era marked by fear and uncertainty. Fear of health loss, accentuated by global pandemics, has led governments and institutions to implement unprecedented control measures, including digital passes and movement restrictions. People, in the name of security, have accepted unprecedented limitations on their freedoms, paving the way for a system in which digital identity and constant monitoring are normalized. At the geopolitical level, international tensions and conflicts are fueling a climate of terror and insecurity. The shadow of nuclear war looms, and with it the pretext for greater state control over populations. The threat of war justifies the expansion of mass surveillance technologies, the censorship of information, and the limitation of individual freedoms. Furthermore, the rise of centralized digital currencies represents another step towards complete economic control. If governments decided to eliminate cash in the future, every transaction would be monitored and regulated. Without the required digital stamp, no one would be able to buy or sell, just as prophesied in the apocalypse. These elements lead us to a disturbing conclusion: the beast's plan is being realized, piece by piece, through the manipulation of fear and the gradual subjugation of humanity to a system of totalitarian control. The prophecy is fulfilling. We can no longer speak of simple coincidences. The signs are clear and unmistakable. We are witnessing their fulfillment before our eyes. The beast's strategies have been applied with millimetric precision: first fear to make the masses more docile, then the gradual introduction of increasingly stringent control systems, until reaching a point of no return where domination will be total. It is no longer a simple hypothetical scenario. The world around us demonstrates that the process is already underway. The progressive elimination of cash, the control of the media, the censorship of information, the reduction of personal freedoms, and the imposition of a global digital identity are just some of the elements that confirm that the path has been traced. Is it possible to stop all this? Only by becoming aware of what is happening and actively opposing it can we hope to escape this grip of absolute control. It is no longer a question of if, but when. The mark of the beast could soon become a concrete reality, and those who refuse it could find themselves on the margins of society, unable to lead a normal life. Biblical prophecies have warned us, we are at a crucial moment in history, and it is up to us to decide which side we are on. I invite you to share this video to spread the truth and leave a comment with your opinion. Subscribe to the channel for more insights into the mysteries of the world and the prophecies that are coming true. Until next time, and remember, knowledge is power.